Great day. This is King, and welcome to the King Connections podcast. I'm sitting here with my CTO, Chief Technology Officer, Awais, and we're going to discuss today. We're going to create a series of videos where we walk through the connecting with intent formula. And the purpose of this video is really show folks how they can really begin to grow their network with intention. And I've created a step-by-step process to walk you through. So as you see the connected with intent formula, which is also our logo, is strategy plus connections plus systems plus value equals capital. And then these steps create social capital, then social capital generates financial capital. So what we're going to walk through over the next couple of videos is how to go about creating your social capital first. So we're going to break this 5-step formula down step by step. And so we're going to talk about strategy today, and then we're going to go through the 6-step process for strategy. Now, we're not going to cover all 6 steps. We're going to just cover the first 3 steps because this is a very detail-oriented process, and we couldn't cover all of it in one video. But our goal is to give you enough insightful information so you can begin to understand how to connect with intent and the importance of building relationships based off alignment, not based on what's in common. So how are you doing today, Wiz?
Yeah, I'm doing great. How about you, King?
I'm doing great. Doing great. Thank you for joining me today. I know it's taking a lot of time coming out of your lab and everything, so we can actually create this video. But I appreciate uh, your thought process, your strategy, and I know that we've been doing some great work. You've helped me build out my profile from. I think when you and I first met, I had probably about maybe 700 connections. Now I'm well over 1,600 connections now, and I'm talking quality connections, people, not just random people. So we're really going to focus on how to use to build LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn to me is my preferred uh, social media platform for building best connections, primarily because you can research the individuals, you can see what their interests and their hobbies are, and it's more professional. People are required to put a professional photo, so it's not a picture of someone's dog or just a logo. So more requirement is required from a professionalism standpoint on LinkedIn. That's why that's my preferred platform. That's the platform we're going to really focus on today. So with that being said, let me bring up my 6 steps strategy that everyone can see that we're going to walk through 3 of the steps today. So now everything here in this 6-step strategic plan is critical. The
Yeah,
first step you have to do before you really begin to even think about connecting with people, utilizing the connect with intent formula is be clear on who you want to talk to. You hear a lot of people say build your avatar. And that's what you want to do in the first step. Now, building your avatar, it's going to take some time if you don't have already began communicating with a particular avatar. If you've never done this step first, I would say take a couple of days to really think through this, research. But you want to choose an industry that you do know, an industry that you're familiar with, and you want to be able to pick an industry that you can help solve some of the key pain points and needs of a particular avatar in that industry. So
yeah,
today we're going to talk about the real estate industry, but I want you all to be clear on that you have to choose, or you should definitely choose an industry that you're familiar with, that you can ask what I call big questions, and you can offer solutions because you understand how that the industry, the avatar in that industry thinks. Again, what their challenges are. In most cases, always going to be around lead gen or closing more deals or positioning themselves, and you want to be able to help them because you are familiar with the industry. So that's really step one. Now, step two, and we're going to walk through each step individually, but I'm laying out the 3-step process that we're going to cover. So next, we're going to talk about how you create a high-value search file. So once you define who your avatar is, then we're going to look at how you go about searching for them. Now, I have 3 platforms that I use to search for these individuals. My King Connections Nexus database, which is my online membership database. We're not going to cover that today, but that's one of the tools that I use because I have over 5,000 highly influential and connect individuals on my membership, King Connection Nexus. Sales Navigator, which is a LinkedIn add-on tool that you can purchase with LinkedIn. It costs $100 a month. It's a tool that I highly recommend that you purchase so you can actually do advanced searching. And then, of course, you can use Google to do searching, but Google takes a little bit more skill because you have to have the parameters correctly specified in the search in order to really get the results you're looking for. So today, we're only going to cover Sales Navigator. We're not going to talk about King Connections in this video or the Google search, only Sales Navigator. And then finally, once you're ready to do a search file, the next step is you're going to create a DM script. And DM script is a direct message script that you're going to use within LinkedIn. And again, some key things about your direct message script, you want to keep it to under 300 characters. That's key because LinkedIn won't allow you to go beyond that. Plus, the good thing about it is it creates a very short, concise message because most people are very busy. And if you were allowed to have a longer message, most people wouldn't read it and you'll miss out on a lot of opportunities. Because think about this: are you willing to read a long message from a stranger that just pops up on your DM? No, you're going to just
No.
skip off that. But if it's something that's short, under 300 characters, it's punchy, it catches your attention, and it creates curiosity, you may read that. And then it may even compel you to act if it's written well. So we'll talk a little bit about that. I'm going to show you an example of what one looks like. And then finally, the goal behind the DM message is to do two things. It's to create curiosity, to make that person curious to say what it is that you're offering me. I want to learn more. But it's also to have them accept your connection invite. So that's the two goals behind your DM message that you're sending out initially. You want to have them say, ah, they're gonna look at your profile. So you're gonna make sure your LinkedIn profile is professional, it's up to date, and I would recommend you have some content, like you created either a newsletter or you've made some posts, so that people, when they read your profile, they can see that you're active on LinkedIn, that you have something that resonates with them, and that's aligned with your DM. So anything you want to add there, please?
No, yes, King, you are explaining a very good way, So you have explained and covered all the point, So let me share my screen and explain to the peoples how they can find their target audience, with Sales Navigator and sending direct messages, with invite not script. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. When you see my screen, let me know, please. Okay, let me open this Sales Navigator. Okay, that's great. Okay, can you see the screen, King?
No, not yet.
Okay,
Okay, it's coming up now.
okay,
Yeah, we can
okay,
see it right
that's
now.
great. Okay, when you when you are going to purchase the Sales Navigator, then you are going to see the dashboard like this. And first of all, you have to click on lead filters here to find your target audience. No, so let's start finding a King target audience. King, what are the keywords you wanna search for, and what are your target audience are?
Well, today we're going to focus on the real estate industry. So I want a real estate professional.
Real estate professionals. That's great. So let me put the real estate professional. Oh my god. Professional. Do not include any capital word. And also not professionals. Do not include s here. You just have to real estate professional. Everyone, those who are going to tell to the people that I'm a real estate professional, so it means the Sales Navigator is going to provide us this real estate professional, not the professionals. If we will add professionals, then the search can be wrong. So we just have to search for real estate professionals. Okay, let's go. And okay, company had account. King, how many company head accounts should should be.
Well, before you choose that, I want to point out to our listening audience that you
Sure.
notice that we go to just off choosing real estate professional. You
Yeah.
look at right now and you go over to the right corner of the screen here. It's 1 million plus results, which is too many. And
Yeah.
you want, and this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna walk you through how to really narrow that down because you don't really want to have 1 million plus people you're trying to send your message to. It's gonna take too much time. It's too large of an audience, and the more niche and precise you can make your message and really define who your avatar is, the better your results, your better chance of connecting with somebody, and more importantly, your better chance of closing that person and beginning to build with them as a client. Go ahead. I'm
Thank you,
sorry.
King. Thank you, King, for adding something here. So okay, next. Okay, first of all, select the company head account. King, how many company head account you wanna have?
Now, what I typically do as a rule of thumb for me, and again, this is going to be to each individual, but you want to be clear on the size of the company you want. I normally choose 11 to 20 people because it's more than that new startup and someone who
Hmm.
has at least, I'm sorry, 11 to 50. Someone
Yeah.
who at least has 11 employees more than likely has a budget and
Yeah.
they have the capability to afford services that you're providing. So that's why I
Yeah.
kind of go with that range. But anyone, you can choose any range you want, but we're gonna go today with my range of 11 to 50.
Yeah. That is. And what type of the company type you wanna select? Public company, privately held, and what type of the company you wanna select? King here.
Let's go with public company. And actually, before you select that, I just want to point out again, uh,
Mm-hmm.
choose X out that public company real quick, please. I just want to show
Yeah.
folks before. So we went from 1 million plus. So that when we chose the head count, that narrowed it down to 190K plus. So you see right there, that was almost a 10%, less more than 10% decrease in the number of people that we're actually talking to. So you see, the more we get clear and define who our niche is, the better the results are. So now we had 190K. So now we're going to choose the actual. What was the next
Yeah.
question you had for me?
No, King, and that is that. In that way, we are going very closer to our target audience. By adding filters here. So first of all, you should know about your target audience. Then you can go by your target audience, like, and then you can make some sales here. First of all, first step is you have to know about your target audience. Then you have to select the filters. So company type, okay, you can also select the, let's do public company, as also you can see the results are also decreased. It's 30K. Now we are going deeper with our goal. So no, next, first of all, select the real estate here in a function. So, and also seniority level, you can also select this seniority level. So what type of the seniority level should I add, King, here? What you are gonna recommend?
Let's go to owner partner.
Owner or partner? That's great choice. So okay, that's great. Okay, no, in which geography, in which country you wanna target your audience? It is in United States. You can also go by uh states here, but we have very less results. And in United States, it's, as you can see, there are 95 plus results are showing here. you know and if you remove here owner or partner, then you can see there are 9K plus results. If you want to target more to the more peoples. Okay, let's explain the next. And you can also go by industry. We are going to select the industry real estate, we- because we are targeting the real estate industry. Okay. No, they no the groups. Let's select these groups. It can be a real estate group, So real estate mastermind, all these groups. Okay. Okay, as you can see, we have our very targeted audience here, 616 results, as we can see. No, what is King? Anything else you want to add here?
Yeah. So what I recommend that what I look for is for me the sweet spot is really around 1,500 to 2,000 people that are usually one of my search results. But if you can get it finer, like if you have a really strong niche, and you can get down to below 1,000, then that's great. Um, and so you just kind of want to play with these filters until you get it right. For example, um, we decided to not go with um, the owner founder because that broke us down to really less than um, I think it was 95 results, especially when we looked at it within the United States. So that's why we made it more broader and we took that category out. So you definitely want more than I would say you want more than 500 because again, it's
Yeah,
a numbers game. Not everyone's going to accept your LinkedIn request or and not everyone is going to be a perfect client. If they do accept your request, you may not necessarily be aligned on your core principles and values, and it may not be a good person to bring on to build with. The energy may be off. So I would say you want to go for definitely above 500, um, but I would say 2,000 or below. So between 500 to 2,000 is the sweet spot you want to look for as far as your search results. And if you
yeah,
can niche it better, great. But that's what you want to have, is what I want to add to that. So there's other search filters that we can add to narrow it down even more. Like we can choose if the person's already a connection to me, or we can say connection of. So you can really narrow it down. Sometimes you may want to narrow it down uh, depending on what your message is and what strategy you're looking to implement. But right now, we just really want to the strategy we're showing you today is how to go about adding to your LinkedIn network and then choosing quality people that you can actually begin to build with and nurture. Again, I just really want to stress to folks this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not go out here, find people, and then try to sell them on your first message. None of that. This is really about building a relationship. Again, connecting with the intent to create
yeah,
value, to do business, and solve their pain point. Not sell them a product, not just look at it from your standpoint, but understand how you can actually help them. And one last thing I want to point out the other reason you really
sure.
want to narrow it down is because you want to begin to look at and click on certain profiles and really begin to understand who these individuals are, what kind of posts are they making, are you aligned with those individuals? So you're not just sending it out to every single person. You really
Yeah,
want to narrow it down so that you can actually have a great conversation and you can say things to that person that's going to inspire them to connect with you. And then more importantly, uh, you build enough trust where they'll say, now I'm willing to give you an opportunity to solve my problem. So with that,
yeah,
continue there.
yeah. Thank you, King, for adding. Okay, okay. Now let's start how you can send invite with Node. So we are going to view the profile, and let me send that invite via LinkedIn. you know LinkedIn would be better, King. Okay,
Yes.
no. Okay, let me open LinkedIn profile. So I have already write and script for invite node script. Sometime you are gonna see the connect button here, and sometime you have to click on more and see connect. Click on connect, add a note. Here you should add your message here. As you can see, we have write an script, and we are going to send an invite note script here. Hey, here you should add her first name. Her name is Kathy, and you have to write down there. hey Kathy, I see you are crushing it in real estate, the blah blah blah, and looking forward to connecting King, So let's hit send, you know.
That's not his sin. I don't want to connect
Oh,
with Kathy, but
okay.
yeah, that's what we'll do. But
Yeah,
also, I wanted to point out before we get off this message, it's
yeah,
very important in your DM message. Like I said before, you want to keep it to under 300 characters. As you can see, that's 296 of under 300, so it fits that criteria. Secondly,
yeah,
I want to read through the message so you can really understand. Again, the intent behind the message is that you want to send something that's interesting and compelling to do two objectives. You want to have them accept your connection request because you're not connected to them.
yeah,
And the next thing you also want to do is you want to have them curious enough to want a follow up conversation with you.
yeah.
And this is
That is,
important that I point this out because a lot of people will accept your connection request because maybe they even got assistants that actually are utilizing or working their LinkedIn account, and their assistant may just be accepting LinkedIn requests. So that's why you really want to make sure you put a compelling message. Don't close out yet. You want to
yeah.
put a compelling message there so that you
I
can close.
apologize. No, let's put again here.
Okay. So you really want to put a connecting message there that, I mean, a compelling message that makes that person interested enough to want to receive a follow up with you. And so the best response you can get is, yes, sure, I'm interested. That's what I'm asking. So I'm saying, I see you crushing on real estate. Quick question.
Yeah,
What if you could generate high quality leads on autopilot without chasing cold prospects? I'm working on something game changing for agents. Would love to share a quick insight. Interested. So the goal is for her to say, I'm gonna connect with you. So now I've expanded my connection, my database on LinkedIn. And then if she replies, yes, I'm interested, then now that becomes a warm lead. So
yeah,
that being said, go ahead, continue.
yeah. That is the point. Here, King, you have already explained that your invite note script should be in less than 300 characters. So that is in that way you can click on hit send, and let's wait when she will be active on LinkedIn. When she is going to see your messages, then she is going to connect, she or he is going to connect with you now. So let me close this one here and also stop the screen here, because we have already shared a sales navigator with you, the guys, how it works and how you should find your target audience on LinkedIn.
All right. So in our next video, we're gonna cover getting more detailed into how to go about how we do it behind the scenes. We're going to share a little bit of behind the scenes magic that we do. Now, I know Waze doesn't want to do that, but we're going to share just a glimpse of some of the things we do behind the scenes because there's a lot of tools out there that allow you to um, scrape and get names and pull into a different database. But with LinkedIn, you want to be cautious about that because, again, LinkedIn is not like an email system where you do a blast message to 600 people at the same time. LinkedIn won't allow you to do that, first of all. Now, there's tools you can do to take it outside of LinkedIn, and you can try to do it that way, but I highly recommend you don't because LinkedIn will also monitor your connections, monitor the messaging that you're sending. And if you're sending too many messages, they don't know you're broadcasting, and more likely they might cancel your account. So we definitely want to get people to the mindset that you want to follow within LinkedIn's parameters and don't send out more than 15 to 20 messages per day, direct DM messages I'm referring to, and that way it allows you to also, when people start replying back to you or accepting your connection request, your follow-up message, which we'll go back and we'll go more into the next video, should be much more personalized, which means you have to read through their profile, look for something that is where you have things in alignment with them on, and that you can use as a reference to really stimulate. Because the goal is, let me bring back up my strategy. The goal is to get them to the point where you have, we just went through steps 1, 2, and 3. The goal is to get them to the point where you invite them to a meeting where we call alignment phone call. So that's step 4, where you nurture and provide value. So I'm saying use high value follow-up message, offer podcast interview as a trust accelerator. Now, the ways help me understand the importance and the power behind doing podcasts as a way to really create something of value and help maximize your time. Because what you want to do, the message is to steer the person to a phone call, a 15-minute Zoom introduction meeting. I call mine an alignment call. You want to keep it to 15 minutes for your time and for their time, because most people are not going to have time for a 30-minute, 40-minute, etc. longer meeting when they don't know you. And the most they're going to give you is 15 minutes. So if you say 15 minutes, you specifically say 15 minutes. You can even say 10 to 15 minutes. That way, that person can now say to themselves when they're scheduling that meeting, I have 15 minutes on this day that I can set aside to meet this individual because they read your profile, they liked your message, they were curious about it, and they really want to hear what you have to offer. And they can give you grace enough for 15 minutes to make that happen. So I just really want to point those things out to you. We'll cover those in the next video. But again, the objective was to get that person, if it's Kathy or whoever the individual is you want to connect with, the goal is to get them to agree to accept your message, curious enough to agree to a 15-minute introduction phone call or alignment meeting where you can lay out what you're offering, how, and then ask the big questions. Again, that's key. You want to do little talking and ask more questions to get them talking more. That's important. If you're talking most of that meeting, then more likely you're not going to be able to offer them to sell anything because you're not learning anything. You're talking. The best way you learn is by asking big questions. What are you struggling with today? If I can eliminate any of your key pain points, what would be the best value I can offer you today? And then offer it as a gift initially. And that's what I want to make sure people understand. The best way to really nurture relationships when you connect with somebody, don't try to sell them or close them in that 15-minute call. That's not the purpose of it. It's to learn from them what their pain point is and then offer as a solution something that you can help them with to solve a pain point, which is going to be probably, again, more likely generate more leads, better close deals, or grow their network. And that's usually going to be the key things that people are struggling with in their business. And your goal is to help them do that. So I would say offer them a gift. The best gift to offer them that's really cost effective for you and that could be of high value for them is to offer them to appear as a guest on your podcast. Again, we're going to talk more about that, but that way I offer to interview them on my podcast, and that way I can learn more about their business. I can share that content with my network. They can then share that content with their network because the podcast is going to be centered on them being the interviewee and asking key questions about their business and how their business can help their clients. So that's one of the best gifts you can give them, and it's something they can continue to keep sharing. It's trackable. So I just want to make sure people understand it. Don't try to sell on your first 15 introduction meeting. Nurture, build a relationship, address their pain point, solve their problem. And so in our next video, we go through the other steps. But unless you have anything else, ways we're going to pretty much get ready to wrap this video up.
No, King, that's great. You have explained in a very good way that the podcast helps people three-side win-win situation. Guest, the listeners, the host. So that's the thing I wanna add here, and the other plans we will discover in next video. So thank you for your time, and
And we're going to close out our video by, we're going to close out our
The playbook for growing a local business online is simple. Capture new leads, conversationally convert those leads into sales, turn those customers into positive reviews, and then reactivate those customers into repeat buyers. And that's exactly what our platform does. In order to consistently generate new leads, you first need to be found. The quickest way to get search engines like Google to put your business at the top of search results is by having a steady flow of positive reviews. With our platform, you can show up in search and stand apart from your local competition by easily collecting new customer reviews through text. But getting found is only the beginning. Most consumers choose the first business that responds to them. So unless you start conversations with potential customers almost instantly, they'll go somewhere else. That's why we make starting conversations with website visitors as easy as clicking a button, connecting you instantly through text message so the conversation doesn't end when they leave your website. And we bring all your leads, no matter where they come from, into a single conversation stream that supports text, email, video messaging, Google Business Chats, and even Facebook and Instagram DMs, so you can respond faster and more efficiently than ever. When it comes to turning all those conversations into customers, we make collecting payments just another convenient part of the combo, so you get paid faster no matter how they prefer to pay. Next, you'll want to turn your new customers into happy reviews, which is a snap with our new review request quick actions. The more conversations and customers you generate, the easier it becomes to drive repeat business. We make reactivating contacts into customers as easy as, yup, you guessed it, the push of a button. With bulk actions, you can send out text and email campaigns to generate new sales whenever you have a new update, promotion, or story to tell. We make modern online marketing simple. Let's start growing your business today.
Thank you for your time, everyone. We appreciate it. Until our next video, as everyone continue to connect with intent. Thank you.
Thank you.